We're still in the category biomedicine. Today we're going to talk about Black immortality. It's 1951. There's a Black patient that goes into Johns Hopkins. Johns Hopkins, at this time, 1951, they're known for treating poor Black people, for lack of a better phrase. So this woman tested negative for triponemia palladium, and she's been complaining of stomach pains. And if any of you guys know, from the 1930s to the 1970s, there was the Tuskegee syphilis experiment going on, which was Black males that were allowed to have syphilis and fake treatments were occurring. Like, they gave them syphilis and then they pretended like they were giving them treatment. So look at this. In 1951, this Black woman comes in complaining of stomach pain. So they're like, oh, we know what's going on, so let's test her for triponemia palladium. Came back negative. They have to see what was going on. So her gynecologist, he did a biopsy, which is a tissue extraction, and he tried to take that tissue for diagnostic purposes. He realized the scientific significance of her cell because they were stable, they kept growing, and that was something that was an anomaly at that time. So they kept her cells, and her cells have done remarkable things for the biomedicine community. They use this woman's cell line for everything. Anything that you want to test on when it comes to human virology. You want to see how a virus is interacting with human cells. Oncology, you want to see how cancer cells behave. Space science, you want to see how human cells would do in an environment that is similar to what we know as space. You want to see what these cells do if they're given toxins, radiation, drugs, hormones. You can study a whole human's genome, which is all your genes, everything that makes you human and able to reproduce more humans. They even used her cell line to create the polio vaccine. When I'm telling you this cell line has done remarkable things for biomedical science, it's not an understatement. It's not an understatement at all. So basically, I'm a cellular molecular biologist. If I wanted to study how a plant's toxin or the toxin of a snake or a lizard or some animal or some plant's toxin, if I want to see how the human cell responds to this toxin, I can order up some HeLa cells, like how people order things from Amazon, but you'll just specifically order it from the scientific community. I'm pretty sure you can't buy human cells on Amazon, but maybe you can. I don't know. But I don't think that the schools that I went to had taught me to order it from Amazon, so that would be something I wouldn't do. But you can technically order it online and you can get it sent to you. Once you get it, you can literally experiment on it. And it's so weird because you're going to be experimenting on this woman named Henrietta Lacks. That wasn't the name she was born with, but that was the name that she had at the time. So HeLa cells. You're able to do experiments with this woman's cells. And it's so funny because when I first learned about this, I didn't learn that it was just so disgusting the way that her biological material was taken and capitalized off of. When I think of it now, it's just so sickening how our body parts are being taken from us and benefiting someone else when we don't even have proper access to healthcare. It's crazy because this woman's cell line had gave healthcare advancement. She helped advance healthcare, but Black people don't even have access to proper medical care. We're still seen as folks who don't even have pain. We're still number one with dying while giving childbirth, but this woman had advanced medical care. It's crazy. And there are so many cases of Black indigenous people advancing the way that biomedicine evolved. We literally created the current functional state of biomedicine when you have money. When you have money, you can get access to these scientific abilities to prolong life. You have access to those. And that's thanks to folks who involuntarily were involved in these sick experiments. There's the Tuskegee syphilis experiment. There's the human radiation experiment. There's the gynecological experiments on so-called slaves. Then there's Guatemala syphilis, gonorrhea, and cancroid experiments, just to name a few. And we don't ask to be involved in them. We are forcibly involved in them. And it's really interesting because they don't care if you're a child, a mother, a father, a brother, a sister. They don't care. They want to get their result. And if your death is in the middle of them getting their result, it doesn't matter. So this is why we're talking about HeLa cells, because clearly her Black immortality matters.